Am I the a-hole for installing a lock on the bathroom door after my brother-in-law kept barging in? My female 25, husband's male 30 brother, my brother-in-law, male 33, moved in with us after his divorce a few weeks ago. The problem I have is that he started barging into the bathroom whenever I'm using it. He never knocks or anything. Another thing is that he only does this when it's me in the bathroom, not his brother. I told my husband about what I'd noticed, but he laughed it off and called me paranoid. It was embarrassing because his brother would see me exposed, and it's made me uncomfortable. My husband said he spoke to him and he apologized, but did it again. When my husband and I got married, we promised to not have locks or lock each other out of any room. So the bathroom didn't have a lock. I was really considering getting a lock. And I let my husband know that if his brother walks in on me in the bathroom one more time, then a lock will instantly be installed. He didn't say anything. Well, yesterday, brother-in-law walked in on me showering. He knew I would be in the shower but barged in anyway, claiming he needed to pee. I had enough. Went out and got a lock and installed it. My husband got home, saw it, and blew up on me saying I violated an agreement that I was part of. It went against his wishes being uncomfortable with locks in the house. He demanded I remove it, and promised and guaranteed that his brother won't walk in on me again. But I refused. He's been angry about it since then and is giving the silent treatment. Info? I'm not close with my brother-in-law. My husband is. I don't even talk to him that much, and I barely even sat with him at any gathering before he moved in with us. Now for the top comments before reading the little update. When my husband and I got married, we promised to not have locks or lock each other out of any room. That seems a tad unhealthy. Even the best relationships need boundaries, and everyone deserves the option of privacy. Let me guess. Your husband suggested the no locks idea first, not an a-hole. Everyone deserves the option of privacy. That is why the HUD Manufactured Housing Code requires a privacy lock in every toilet compartment/bathroom. Not the a-hole. The no locks thing was an agreement between you and your husband. When his brother moved in, it wasn't you and your husband anymore, and therefore the agreement comes to a hold. Tell your husband the lock can be removed as soon as his brother is moving out. No, keep the locks on after too. No locks even where you take a dump? That's not about trust, that's just control. I don't see the problem as long as both parties respect one another's privacy. The problem here is that the husband clearly doesn't value OP's privacy, so she should definitely revisit the whole agreement. The agreement was voided when your husband moved his brother into the house and refused to accept the fact that brother's behavior was problematic and intentional. Tell him either the lock is installed immediately or brother is evicted immediately. Not the a-hole, but I'm really concerned for your safety. That's not normal behavior from either of them. Violated an agreement? That's ridiculous. Your husband cares about controlling you. That's all. And your brother-in-law is obviously up to no good and he needs to go. It's not innocent and you're not being paranoid. You are being gaslit by the sound of it though. I don't normally advocate for divorce, but maybe you should consider it. Your husband should be making you his #1 priority, period. Which means your comfort and safety in your own home. You told him that you were going to put that lock in if your brother-in-law decided on being a peeping Tom again. So he yelled at the wrong damn person. He should be yelling at his brother and kicking his a-hole self out of y'all's house. I literally can't imagine my significant other saying, "This person keeps barging in and has seen me naked a few times," and me reacting like, "Nah, don't worry about it." What the actual heck? How is it not painfully apparent this is on purpose? OP's husband is a tool. Update. So before I provide an update on this situation, it's worth noting that my brother-in-law used to do this with the bedroom too, but at least I'm not always exposed in the bedroom. So, my husband came home and I told him the lock will not be removed till his brother leaves, and his reaction was to try and remove the lock himself and tell me to quit acting childishly. What I did was not shout or scream, but pack a bag and go to my mom's house for the next few days or so till this gets resolved somehow. On my way out, I saw my brother-in-law in the driveway smoking. He knew what the argument between me and my husband was about, but instead of stepping up to fix it, he offered to take me to my mom's house saying that my husband could use some space from me. This made me cry the whole Uber ride to my mom's house. The reason I feel offended is because brother-in-law tend to be hurtful when he talks about others. I did all I could to win his approval, but he thinks less of me and thinks I'm childish just like my husband says. Next story. Am I the a-hole for extorting my fiancé for his social security number? I just started a new job and became eligible for benefits. One of the benefits is a free 25K life insurance policy. I decided to sign up because it's free, so why not? I put the primary beneficiary as my dad, and the second is my fiancé. If it pays out, it would pay out 50-50. They needed the beneficiary's info, name, date of birth, contact information, and it asked for social security number too. I called my dad, told him what I was doing, he gave me the info, and that was that. Then I called my fiancé to ask him, and he immediately got defensive. Why do you need that? What is this for? Valid question, but I had told him at the beginning it was so he could be a beneficiary to my life insurance policy. This isn't some scam website, it's through our HR health benefits. He refused to give it to me and was getting angrier. The more upset, the more I pushed for it, until finally I gave up and just didn't add him because it wouldn't let me add him because the SSN was a required field. When we got home, I asked him what the big deal was, and he basically said that information is his information. It is not giving it to me. I pointed out to him that since we're getting married, I will at some point likely need his social. I pointed out that he wanted to be added to my insurance after we got married as his job doesn't offer any, and that I would definitely need his SSN for that, bank accounts, mortgages, credit cards. I'm not posting it on the internet. It's just so he can get money in the event I die. Anyway, long story short, we argued. He's adamant his information is his information, and he doesn't want to be in the system. I reminded him he was in the military for Pete's sake. He is already in the system. Finally, I told him, okay, then I wouldn't add you to my life insurance or health benefits because I can't add you without that information. He responded saying that I was extorting and blackmailing him, and then he left for his brothers. Am I the a-hole? Edited to add, he does have mental health issues and sometimes gets in weird moods. I'm hoping this is one of those times, but he did seem genuinely upset when he left. Thus, I feel bad for throwing the health insurance thing in his face. I feel that may have been a low blow. His information is his information and he doesn't want to be in the system. I am sorry, but I am laughing myself off reading this. He doesn't want his SSN to be in the system? Where the heck does he think his SSN comes from? When you're born, you exit your mother with your social security number tied around your big toe. It's the father's responsibility at that point to fight the hospital staff, ensuring that they don't take the number first and add you to the system. Wait until he finds out about driving licenses and passports. Not the a-hole, but I'd hold off on setting a wedding date. This is really odd behavior and makes me suspicious of exactly why he doesn't want to share this. I mean, you're basically giving him money if something happens to you. When you go on his insurance or he goes on yours, you'll need his SSN. When you file taxes as married filing jointly, the SSN is on the front page of your 1040. He can't run away from this forever. Is it possible that he is not here legally? Is it possible he's using someone else's SSN? Is it possible he has some record that he hasn't told you about? It may all be innocent, but his reaction, leaving to go to his brothers, is way out of line with how you'd expect a fiancé to react to something like this. He is definitely a citizen. He was in the military for a short time and his parents are both citizens. I've known him from a distance since high school, so no hidden marriages or criminal record that I've heard of. He has mental health issues and gets a little off sometimes, but he seemed fine when I left for work, and I wasn't getting any flags that he was having an episode or about to have one. It's not a good idea to marry someone who isn't in full control of their mental health. It's not a good idea to marry someone who attacks when you try to communicate. It's not a good idea to marry someone who leaves you guessing their mind. Next story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my wife out of the house? Title sounds extreme, but allow me to explain. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 27 female, for 2 years, and we dated for 5 years prior. The first 2 years of our relationship were riddled with turmoil due to us being interracial. Due to her family's culture, we spent the first 2 years long distance, as we couldn't be seen in public as it would be a disgrace to her family due to the color of my skin. I'm still currently in therapy for this. Things eventually got better and we ended up married. Prior to getting married, my wife assured me she would get a full-time job to increase our financial stability. This has not happened, and for the past 2 years I've been responsible for everything. We did the math, and about 85% of my paycheck is going towards expenses, bills, groceries, etc. My wife works part-time twice a week, and when she's not working, she is spending time chilling with friends or hanging out with her family. Due to this, She has been using her credit card more, which is now an added expense I've had to cover. Because I get home from work at 6 to 6:30 p.m. for the past 4 months, I've been asking my wife if we could spend time together on the weekends. She has always said no, and that she has prior plans, which is ironic because whenever we do eventually go to a big social gathering, she'll remark that our couple demeanor is awkward and we don't know how to be sociable together. As a result, I've spent more time with my friends and people who I've met on Discord that live in my city than my own wife for the past few months. But this isn't sustainable as I have almost no disposable income left to go out and see people. Recently, she has been mentioning how her family has been asking to see me for the past 2 months and hang out, but she has been telling them I'm busy. I asked if I could go with her the next time she sees them, which is next week. Family barbecue, 10 plus people attending, and she said no. I asked why, and she said, honestly, when you're around, the family vibe and dynamic is just different. I want to be able to actually just hang with my family, but with you there, my parents/siblings act differently, which given the cultural differences is bound to happen, and she should have known this. Her response triggered my emotions as it felt like a callback to the first couple years of our relationship, where I was seen as lesser due to my skin color and made me think this is also why she doesn't want me to hang out with her friends either. I told her I think she should pack some items and stay with her parents for a few days. She said I was being extreme, and that it's going to take baby steps for everyone to get comfortable and that I can attend the next meetup instead. Am I the a-hole? I feel like I could be an a-hole as kicking someone out abruptly is extreme and kind of a 0 to 100 moment. But I feel like I've been mistreated for so long that is justified. Edit. I haven't been able to respond to everything, but I wanted to thank everyone for their comments. I will be continuing therapy and suggesting marriage counseling as an attempt to see whether things can be resolved through that route. I will also be speaking with a lawyer to understand the financial implications/obligations of a potential divorce. Info. As some have asked, my wife is Sri Lankan and I'm black from Central Africa. We met at the second year of university. Now for the comments. Not the whole. You were just asking for common courtesy from your partner and you haven't gotten any. They are treating you like a bank, not a partner. I don't say something like this lightly, but I think you need to start looking into divorce. It is doubtful that your situation is going to get any better. You deserve an actual partner. This is quite honestly how it has felt. As though I'm just living life to work and pay bills and have no enjoyment. Especially worse given that we live in a very high cost of living city. So if you're funding her lifestyle, what does she contribute to the marriage? Sounds like nothing but stress and more things to spend money on. Not the whole. Your wife's family will probably never accept you, and instead of choosing your side, she pacifies them by not bringing around her husband and defends their horrible behavior? Silence speaks volumes. Not the whole. Based on this post, you should break up. And it was a huge mistake to get together. Obviously, it could be more complicated than that, but she sounds really appalling. What's the upside to staying with her? When we were actually spending time together, it was great, but the time is now few and far between. My therapist has also mentioned to me in the past that I might feel committed and stuck due to the time I've invested. Look up sunk cost fallacy. It's a common human brain thing. Thinking, I've already put so much into it, I can't just drop it. You'll never get that invested time back, but you can stop investing it if she's not meeting you halfway. And technically, you didn't waste it if you get divorced. These years and this relationship still taught you things about yourself and life. Last story. Am I the a-hole for taking money from the dress budget we had to pay for the iPad my fiancé's kid broke? My fiancé and I are getting married in 3 months. We both have a kid from a previous relationship. My daughter Spencer, 15 female, and her daughter Emma, 8 female. The kids get along just fine. Not really close because of their ages, but they're friendly and good. My ex and I bought Spencer an iPad last year and she uses it more than she uses her laptop. She draws in it both as a hobby and for school. She has some kind of diary and several other things I don't know because I'm not an Apple person. She takes her iPad everywhere to the point my ex has bought her several cases and things to personalize it. Emma likes it because it looks cute, but both my fiancé and I have told her that she's not allowed to use it and that we will buy one for her soon. My fiancé said after the wedding since we're on a budget now, and I agreed because she's the one calling the shots on Emma. Well, Emma likes to sit by the stairs and watch videos in my fiancé's phone, but 5 days ago she took Spencer's iPad and sat there. She got scared when she heard my fiancé calling her and dropped it. It broke the screen completely and my daughter was so sad. I took it to see if it could be fixed, but the guy said that it'll be cheaper to just buy another one. My fiancé said that we could get it when we get Emma's. But that wasn't fair since my daughter shouldn't have to wait that long for a mistake Emma made. Then my fiancé said all of her money's currently going to her maid of honor, bridesmaids and mom's dresses, and I said I'll take the money from there and buy Spence a new one. I guess she didn't believe me because she laughed. And the next day I went to buy it and paid for the card we used for the wedding expenses. It has both of our money in it. Both my fiancé and I receive notifications when we use it. And when I got home after I dropped my daughter at my ex's, she came at me, calling me an a-hole, and saying that she'll now have to get cheaper dresses. She's calling me an a-hole because I stole from her. I didn't, because as I said, it has both of our money, and it's a shared account, and says Spence could have waited a bit. Not the a-hole. Emma broke an iPad she was expressly told she was not to touch. You told your partner you would be using money to replace it from a joint account. Not the a-hole, OP. Take this incident as a window to your future life and visualize where your daughter is on your fiancé's priority list. Everyone sucks here, and you two need to learn to communicate better about finances now. You're absolutely right that Spencer should not have to wait to get her iPad replaced when Emma broke it. But you should have had a real conversation with your fiancé about it, and not just told her you were taking money she was counting on using for wedding expenses. Financial disputes are a huge reason why marriages fail. Learn to work things out like adults before you get married.